Ro.creating. Welcome. Well, now that I have my walls covered in wood and I have my pulp bench up on a big box, thought the next thing I should do is make myself a mitre station. Again, place to put something I've had for a long time, and finally I'm building a home for it. So I figured out what width I wanted this box to be, and I decided I'd use the kind of framework of the shed, that little box I built around the structure of the shed. I'd use that as one anchor point, and I used a piece of 2x1 glued and screwed into the wall. It's one of the advantages of having a wooden wall, man. You can screw anything anywhere. So screw that in. That gave these two side panels a kind of an anchor point on the wall. Got my laser level, marked it off at the same height as the pulp bench, drew my lines. Now I know everything there is going to be true to height. Figured out how much I wanted them sticking out from the wall, marked that, and cut. So once the two of them were cut, then it was a case of putting them back up against those little vertical supports, screwing them in place, and now the idea is, there's the two sides of the box, build the rest of the box, build the framework. And everything is true to height. So get yourself a couple of pieces of 4x2 I think I'm using here. Screw it in. I'm not using any glue because I want to be able to, if I need to be able to take this apart or adjust it for a new mitre saw or whatever, I can do that afterwards without ripping wood apart. I can just unscrew things. So I wanted it all to be nice and strong, so kind of wanted to build an inner frame for those side panels. Take my miter cuts and then just literally attach it together like a jigsaw. So I wanted to have a couple of shelves in this thing. The top one is going to be the one that's going to hold the miter saw. I'm going to put another one about a third of the way down, and then another one on the bottom. And I wanted to keep all this framework 4 inches out from the wall, because if I ever want to add in dust collection or something like that, I have a 4-inch gap in the back that I can work with. So using two pieces of wood cut to the same height here, I just get everything in the right place. Using the two of them as height guides, screw them in. No need for measurements there. And again, a piece of 2x4 in the back that I just wanted to keep at 4 inches from the wall. Put in these two little side pieces as well. I cut out the shape of the 2x4 so it would sit up vertical, shoulders on both sides, because I want to put a shelf across there, and I didn't want any, I just wanted to be able to fit it in from the front. I wanted to make everything the same width. Again, keep it simple. And there's the 4-inch gap at the back. Dust collection, whatever I need in the end. Couple of pieces of 1/2-inch ply. I think to get the height right, I used a piece of hardboard, just a couple of mil here and there. Just kept on tweaking it around until it was all at the height that I wanted. And as you can see there, the pulp bench, it's like 0.5 millimeter above it. Perfect, exactly the way that I wanted it. Simple little outfeed table. There's poor old Dusty. He got attacked by the kids. They found makeup and they experimented with the dog. Happy little fella. And there it is. All done, screws and all. So now, like everything I seem to be doing these days, a good healthy coat of black paint and we're off. 1, 2, 3, and it's done. Right, so the mitre saw station is done. Small, simple, effective for now. Absolutely great. I can't see myself replacing this little saw for a long time. I don't think I'll be needing to cut these big sections of wood. But anyway, it works out really well. I put a tub under here. This is for all the kindling. So as I cut off lengths and whatever, just chuck them in there. That makes that handy. And although that's slightly awkward, dusty. I can keep my kind of short 10-inch, 12-inch lengths, the bits that you don't have that many of. You know, you're always using them for bits and this and fixing that and fixing this. They have their own little shelf in here. Don't know what I'm going to be adding here. Dust extraction, dust filtration coming out of this thing. That'll be happening next. So anyway, besides the point, the countertop, the pulp bench, all this is going to work now as a level. Everything is set 900 high, and I'll eventually get onto my table saw, roller table and everything, and it'll all become one big multifunctional kind of workbench. So anyway, listen, thank you so much. Really appreciate you watching, really appreciate it. Subscribe and a like would be fab. And me and Dusty would hopefully like to see you again. Isn't that right? Thank you.